How many of you have heard of Occupy Wall Street? Did all of you know that there's a group in Indianapolis called Occupy Indy? There's a group there right now. There was a group called Occupy Bloomington. I don't know if they're still there or not, but at least for a day or two they were. But right now, Occupy Indy is still going on. I went up there last week, and I spent a few hours with the Occupy Indy protesters, quietly, with my camera filming, not saying much, but listening to what people were saying, reading their signs, seeing what was going on. The media, if you watch CNN, MSNBC, CNBC, any of these, they've been saying, these guys are just like the Tea Party. They're just like the Tea Party. They have the same thing, everything's the same. It's the left's version of the Tea Party. So I went there and I wanted to find out, is this really the same thing as the Tea Party? I've been talking with a lot of them. I've been tweeting with some of the occupiers. I've been emailing, talked to a few of them in person. And I wanted to tell all of you my analysis of the Occupy group and what's going on. Basically, what they are complaining about, I'm all for it. I can get on board with it. They don't like the lobbyists going to DC and greasing the palms of our congressmen. They don't like the big bank bailouts. They don't like the way a lot of our political structure is working right now. A lot of our politicians aren't hearing the people's voices, they're only hearing the corporations' voices. And when I see them saying these things, I say, preach on, brother. You're right. You are exactly right. Now where the comparison stop is right there. That's as far as we have in common. It doesn't go beyond that. Because their solutions are very radically different than what our solutions are. Many of them want socialism, outright socialism. Many of them are confusing crony capitalism with actual capitalism. Those are two very different things, but they're not distinguishing between the two. They think crony capitalism is bad, which it is, so they want to get rid of capitalism altogether. And that's not right. Now, I've seen Herman Cain twice, live, and he keeps saying the same thing that I want to go ahead and point out. One of the things he says in his speech is you have to identify the correct problem and then identify the correct solution. The problem may not necessarily be the lobbyists. The lobbyists might be a byproduct of the problem. When we have a big government, corporations need lots of lobbyists. When we have a huge tax code, corporations need lots of lawyers to go find those loopholes. The occupiers have not identified the right problem, nor have they identified the right solution. On our website, we've been breaking this down, and actually Brandy has put a post on there, and I have put a post on there, and they're conflicting. We have two different views on what is going to happen with the occupiers. She believes that this is funded by George Soros, or she put together a long post. It's funded by George Soros and the unions. They're the ones organizing it. And then it's got some staying power, because they are being pushed by bigger forces. Even though most of them don't actually know what they're doing there and what they're protesting, there is backing behind it, and they are pushing them forward, and it's going to keep on going. My opinion was that eventually the movement will die out because most of them don't know what they're protesting. And once they figure out what they are protesting, and there is a unified message, most of them are going to decide we don't like that message, and they're going to go home. So, whether she's right or I'm right, everyone should be very nervous about this group. Very nervous. Because what's happening is they're holding up their signs for socialism. They're holding up their signs for big government. They're holding up their signs for lots of taxes. And while the media said the Tea Party, who cares about them? We ignore them. They say, look at these occupiers. They're taking to the streets, they're raising their voice, and we like them. What's their message? This is the voice of the people right here. They want socialism. Let's give them socialism. That's what they're seeing. The original voice of the people, the Tea Party, was marginalized, pushed aside. Don't worry about their voice. Whether they stay or whether they go, they are being seen. And we should be very nervous about that. However, one of the missions of the Tea Party is to educate, and we should not be nervous about going to these groups to educate them. I believe the problem with most of the occupiers, they're uneducated, they're uninformed, they don't know the right problem, and they don't know the right solution. Their heart's in the right place. They know something's wrong, and it is, and they want to fix it. They just don't know how to do that. They've been indoctrinated. They think the solution's one thing because that's what they've been told it is, and they're all on board, and it's not it. And if we can do anything with this Occupy group, it is to do our best to explain the real problems, the real solutions. Do our best to show them the difference between crony capitalism and actual capitalism. Show them why free markets do work. Show them why a constitutionally limited government is best for our America. Capitalism is not broken. We've just strayed from it. Democracy is not broken. We don't need a new form. We just need to get back to actually abiding under democracy. We've gone so far away from the Constitution that we don't know what the Constitution looks like anymore. They just assume it's broken, we need something new. It's not broken, it works, as long as we play by the rules and get back under it. So I would encourage all of you not only to educate yourselves, as always, become informed on the issues, but if you know any of the occupiers, don't be afraid to talk to them about the issues as well. Don't be afraid to debate them. Be bold and go and tell them the truth. Let them know what's really going on, and let them know that they are misinformed. They are right that there is a problem, but their solution is not the right solution.